Prime Minister urges finalizing private economic sector development project. And another Myanmar earthquake victim rescued. Hello, you're watching Today Headlines. This morning, the Central Military Commissions of the Communist Party of Vietnam held a key conference to review a proposal for reorganizing local military structures to be more streamlined, strong, and capable in addressing new challenges. The meeting, led by Party General Secretary Tholam, focused on restructuring military commands and border forces while highlighting three key principles. The streamlining must align with potential administrative mergers, adhere to Vietnam defense policies and strategies, and enhance military effectiveness for a strong, adaptable defense network. On Tuesday night, State President Lương Cường and his spouse hosted a state dinner for Belgium King Philip and Queen Mathilde during their state visit to Vietnam. The state president expressed gratitude to Belgium's parliament for being the first in the world to pass a resolution supporting Vietnam's Agent Orange victims. He emphasized the importance of continued cooperation between the two nations. King Philip, acknowledging Belgium's own history with toxic welfare agents, reaffirmed his country's commitment to helping clean up dioxin contamination and ensure a healthier environment for Vietnamese citizens. Prime Minister Phie chaired the second meeting of the National Steering Committee on the project to develop the private economic sector today. He requested setting a higher target for the private sector contributions to the economy, clarifying the target of increasing labor productivity, continuing to build an open institutional framework, promoting public-private cooperation, diversifying resource mobilization models, and developing strategic infrastructure for sustainable development. The Prime Minister tasked the Ministry of Finance with researching and formulating a draft law on the private sector's economy. During a meeting with the Belarusian Deputy Prime Minister Phie emphasized strengthening bilateral cooperation. He called for increased high-level exchanges, expanded trade and investment opportunities, and deeper collaboration in defense, education, and tourism. Welcoming Belarus' plan to invest in Kamaz automobile factory in Vietnam, he urged expedited licensing. He requested greater market access for Vietnamese goods. Belarus pledged to support Vietnam's railway development and facilitate the Vietnamese community in Belarus. On April 1st, National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, along with his spouse and high-ranking delegations, arrived in Armenia to begin an official visit at the invitations of Armenian National Assembly Chair Alan Simonian. The visit aims to strengthen diplomatic ties and a parliamentary cooperation.
National Assembly Chair Trần Thanh Mẫn has begun his first official visit to Armenia, marking the highest-level Vietnamese delegation to the country since diplomatic ties were established in 1992. As part of the visit, a business forum was held, where both sides highlighted the untapped potential in trade and investment. Officials emphasized that economic cooperation is key to deepening bilateral relations. National Assembly Chair Trần Thanh Mẫn reaffirmed Vietnam's dedication to institutional reforms, especially in improving the investment and business climate. National Assembly Chair Trần Thanh Mẫn urged businesses from both nations to explore new partnerships.
I encourage businesses from both countries to collaborate in software development, artificial intelligence, and high-tech solutions for education, healthcare, and smart urban management. Vietnam can supply tropical agricultural products such as coffee, cashew nuts, and seafood, while Armenia brings expertise in processing high-quality agricultural goods, especially wine and dried fruits.
National Assembly Chair Tran Thanh Mun called for greater efforts to facilitate business exchanges and investment opportunities between Vietnam and Armenia, particularly in sectors with strong potential. He emphasized Vietnam's readiness to serve as a bridge for Armenia to enhance ties with ASEAN, and expressed hope that Armenia would do the same for Vietnam in the Asia-Europe economic region.
And coming up next, another Myanmar earthquake victim rescued. And promoting digital transformation at Vietnam Expo. After many hours of effort, the Vietnamese rescue team, along with Turkish and Myanmar rescue forces, pulled a 26-year-old man alive out of the rubble of the hotel in the capital, Naypyidaw, 5 days after the earthquake. When the rescue team reached the trapped victim, he could still speak. The young man was immediately transferred to a medical facility. Also this afternoon, the Ministry of Public Security of Vietnam rescue team found the body of 2 more earthquake victims and handed them over to authorities and their families. Nearly 760,000 measles vaccines have been administered nationwide, achieving 94.5% coverage. Can Tho City will integrate measles vaccinations into its routine immunization program. Regional coverage has reached 95.3% in the North and Central Highlands, 94.6% in the Central regions, and 90% in the South. The highest vaccination rate was among children aged 6 to 10 years at 96.7%. Expert emphasizes that herd immunity requires a 95% vaccination rate. The new U.S. tariff will impact fruit, vegetables, and nuts, which makes up at least half of agriculture imports into the United States. As the U.S. is a key market for Vietnamese products, this presents an opportunity to highlight their quality and diversify export markets. And despite market fluctuations, agriculture export in the first quarter reaches $15.7 billion, up 13% from last year.
This packaging facility has received its first orders. After 3 months of declining fruit and vegetable exports, with durian exports down 80%, farmers and enterprises are keenly aware of the consequences of an unsystematic process.
We collaborate with the growing area and testing center to collect samples for analysis. We hope that the Yên Giang province will establish a testing center.
While the fruit and rice sectors declined, the first quarter saw growth in several products, boosting the overall sector. Despite a decrease in volume, the value of rubber, pepper, and coffee rose by nearly 50% compared to last year. The sector expanded beyond traditional strengths in aquaculture, tapping into high-potential products like eel, tilapia, and offshore aquaculture.
We collaborate with localities to establish new farming areas and practices, forming cooperatives, and linking breeds and processes to processing plants for traceability.
While forecasts for the second and third quarters show an upward trend, new market requirements will impact the agricultural sector. To adapt, several policies are planned to secure the market for Vietnamese products.
We need to focus on harmonizing the interests of both countries. This approach will reduce the impact of U.S. tariffs on agricultural products.
The agricultural sector grew by nearly 3.7% in the first quarter, reflecting the impact of production restructuring and market adaptation. However, reaching the 4% growth target and $65 billion in export turnover, with the potential to hit $70 billion this year, remains a challenge.
The 34th Vietnam International Trade Fair, Vietnam Expo 2025, opened today in Hanoi. The fair attracted nearly 400 businesses from 18 countries and territories. 500 booths showcased digital technology and e-commerce products from the electronics, machinery, and supporting industry sectors. The theme of this year's fair is accompanying businesses in the digital age to help Vietnamese and international businesses make the most of technology platforms and solutions to improve competitiveness and increase product value. The fair will take place until Saturday. As April begins, communities nationwide display the national flag to celebrate the 50th anniversary of national reunification. In resident 26 Ward 5 Gò Vấp District, Ho Chi Minh City, 580 households have raised the flag. The widely adopted National Flag Street initiative fosters patriotism and national pride, especially among the younger generation. And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's it for today's headlines. To rewatch the program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download the mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.